So it is that year again where we decide to predict the unpredictable English Premier League. I'm going to tell you guys where I think everyone is going to fall in the table. Some bold predictions, some pretty standard predictions, but I want to know yours as well. So smash it down below. Let me know who's getting relegated, who's winning, who's making Europeans, who's going to be the standout, who's not going to be the standout. Let me know. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and let's get into this prediction of the English Premier League right now. So we're going to start off with the relegation teams. The three that I think are going down in 20th, Fulham. I think they are just a yo-yo team. They're up and down all the time. They will probably win the championship next season. But I think they're going to get relegated. I don't think Mitrovic can score the goals to keep them up. We've seen this story told out again. Championship, bang, smashes it. 40 plus goals. Comes to the Premier League, struggles to get 15. He should be hitting 15 goals. But I don't think he does to keep them up. Bournemouth come in at 19th. I don't think they have a good enough squad either to stay in the Premier League. I think it's back down for them straight away. They could surprise some, but I don't think they have. They haven't really brought anyone in that has made me go, they could survive. I just don't see it in their team. So they're going back down. And I think it is finally time for Leeds United to go down. I think Leeds, after just scraping last year, I think they're going down. I just think what Jesse Marsch has brought in hasn't been enough. They've lost Calvin Phillips. They've lost Rafinha. Two huge players. We saw Leeds without Bamford and without Calvin Phillips. And that midfield without Calvin Phillips was absolutely dog awful. Their defense is championship level. They leak goals like no tomorrow. Is Bamford going to be able to score 20 goals? Because that's what's going to be needed. Because they let so many goals in. They haven't recruited the right personnel for me. And I just think this is the time that they're going to go down. So I have them finishing in 18th. The next group, the relegation battle group that you would want to call them, I think in 17th is going to be Brentford. I think they're going to have second season syndrome. I think they're not going to be as good. They don't have Christian Eriksen, who transformed their team when he came in. I think they still scrape, though. I think they have enough. Depending if Tony stays the whole season, unless he goes in January, they'll probably will go down. But I think Thomas Frank has enough there to keep them in the Premier League for another season running. And I think if Tony can score some goals again, then I think they will be right. Leicester City, 16th. Now this one, I have them lower because they're losing players, but they're not replacing the players. And that concerns me, especially if Tielemans goes, Maddison goes as well, then I think they're going to be in a big trouble. They don't seem to be bringing anyone in, which is the biggest concern. I don't know what Rodgers is thinking and what they're thinking, because they are normally fighting in that top 10 position. They have been the last few seasons before last year, fighting for that top 4. But now I think I don't know what's going on, because Schmeichel's gone. He's gone to knees by the looks of it. And Tielemans is very hot property right now. And same with James Maddison. Newcastle coming in strong. So they could... This could be either one where they're in the dogfight or they aren't. But I'm just concerned because they haven't brought the players in to replace the players that are leaving. That is my biggest concern. And that's why I've got Leicester City so low. Everton in 15th. I think they're going to struggle. They struggled last year. They almost got relegated. This is the big season for Frank Lampard. This is do or die. I think if he fails here at Everton, I don't know if he's going to get another job in the Premier League. Dele Alli, is he going to be able to survive? This is his probably last chance as well. You've got Calvert-Lewin still there. They lost Richarlison, which I don't think is a big deal because I don't rate him. I think he's overrated. But you still got Calvert-Lewin there. But you've got Gordon, who's going to have to step up and really play well. Dele Alli's got to play well as well. But I don't know. I don't see this Everton squad being good enough to progress and get higher up the table. I think they're going to be in another dogfight here. But I do think they'll scrape it out like they did last year. If they can keep Calvert-Lewin fit, they're going to get those goals that they need. But it's whether or not they can stop leaking the goals. So for me, that's why I've got Everton down low. Southampton in 14th. They somehow always manage to survive. They're just one of those mid-table teams that just are there. Ward-Prowse is still there, so they still got that. But they're decent, but they're not electric or anything like that. I think they've got a solid squad that's good enough to keep them in the Premier League. Again, there's not much to talk about Southampton. It's the same stuff. Some of these teams here in this period, they're going to be the ones that just, you know that they're always going to be around this area. And Southampton are one of those teams. I think Forest are coming in at 13th. I hope Forest come in at 13th because I like to see the new dogs come in that we haven't seen for a long time and stay in the Premier League. And I have been impressed with their business. Jesse Lingard is a proven Premier League player. Fantastic for West Ham. Could he transform and help Nottingham Forest stay up? Yes, I think they will. I think they have enough quality. They've brought in players. It's whether or not it works and gels. That is the big question with Norwich. Can they gel? And I think they are going to make it out, and I think they're going to be quite comfortable here. I do think they'll be quite comfortable, and they won't be anywhere near the relegation for a majority of the season. I think they're going to be like a Brentford. They're going to have a solid first season, and yeah, for me, they're sitting here at 13th. 12 is Crystal Palace. Like, it's Palace. They have a good team. Patrick Vieira, brilliant in his first season. They don't have Conor Gallagher now, but I still think they have enough there. Zaha looks like he's going to be staying again. They have the quality. They are always mid-table. So they're probably the safest bet to put around here. So for me, Crystal Palace is 12th. There's not much else to talk about Crystal Palace, realistically. Wolves will be number 11 for me. They will finish 11th outside the top 10. I think they have a decent squad, but again, they lacked goals last year. They were really good defensively, but they just didn't score enough. They're that sort of team that will win 1-0, lose 1-0. But they just need more going forward. I think if Pedro Neto can get firing, then that will be good for them. He needs to start scoring goals. I think Podence needs to start scoring goals as well. He was having a good back end of the season. They got the new Asian fella who's really decent up there. He's been scoring some goals. Jimenez is back. Hopefully he's back to his best as well. But do they have enough to get those goals and progress further up? I just don't think they do this season. I just don't think they do. That's just me. So for me, Wolves will finish 11th. 10th, Brighton. I mean, we always predict Brighton very low and they always excel. They play brilliant football. They are some of the best football outside of Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. You know, your ballers who play with the ball. Brighton are the best outside the rest. Like, they're freaking fantastic. They just don't have the world-class firepower to get over the line. They were the XG kings. They always are. They create chances. They just never finish it. But again, Potter just knows what he's doing. They click. They upset teams. They flog teams that they shouldn't, like Manchester United last year. I love watching Brighton play, and I think they're going to have another great season. I think they are starting to really progress and become top 10 contenders. I think they will be breaking into the top 10 and really giving the other teams a real fight for their money. So I'm excited to see Brentford. If Cucurella stays, that's going to be even better. But it looks like he's either going to go to Chelsea or Man City. So yeah, we just have to wait for that. But yeah, I still think Brighton will finish 10th. Newcastle will finish 9th, in my opinion. They haven't been as active as I thought they would be in the transfer market, but I see what they are trying to do. They are building the whole foundation of where they're going to go moving forward. They're bringing in quality young players. They did that last year as well with Bruno that they brought in, the young Brazilian, who's actually quite impressive and had a really good back end of the season. But they're doing that again. If they get James Maddison, that's a big bonus for them as well. That's a big upgrade in the midfield. That gives them that extra dimension. But it's whether or not they can keep Callum Wilson fit. If they keep Wilson fit, he will score the goals. St. Maximin is going to have a huge season. Like, this is going to be a big season for him. He needs to get double figures in goals. He needs to get 10 to 15 goals for them. He has to. He has to be that focal point for them with Callum Wilson, creating and scoring goals. If those two are firing, they will have enough to get into 9th. To get into the top 6, I don't think so. I just don't think yet. But I think as they progress, I think next season, splashing some more money, really getting that foundation right, then going in and getting more established players around that 25, 26-year-old mark that are on the edge or verge of world-class or world-class players and putting them into this squad is going to enhance them greatly. So I still think they're going to finish ninth, but I think they're going to surprise, and I would not be surprised if they did move up in the table and maybe push for 6th place. I really wouldn't be surprised. So for me, Newcastle finished ninth. Aston Villa in 8th. Gerrard, this is the season for Gerrard now. This is where we're going to know whether Gerrard is going to be a decent manager or not. He came in, was brilliant for him. He's got Coutinho now. He's brought in some really good players. Their spending, I was just blown away at some of the players that they were bringing in. They have a really, really good setup there. Can Ings and Ken Watkins score the goals that they need? That is going to be the big thing. Bailey, if he can start to find form like he had done in the Bundesliga and really find his footing in the Premier League, this is now he's had his first full season now. This is his second season. He really has to come hitting the ground running and score some goals as well. I think they're in for a big, big season. This is make or break for Gerrard. I think so too. And I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to finish 8th. I think they're going to upset some teams. But I don't think they're enough to break into the top 7. So for me, Aston Villa are 8th. Manchester United in 7th. I still think that they have a lot of deadwood to get rid of. And they really, really have not brought anyone in the transfer window. They are tied up on the De Jong deal. That doesn't even look like it's going to happen at this point. It looks like it's going to go to Chelsea or stay at Barcelona. So why are they still progressing with that? I don't know. Erik ten Hag is in. He's a great manager. Really good manager. But I just don't think they have the players. What is any different from the team that they had last year to this team? Well, they brought in a backup left back. That's it. You got Martinez from Ajax. Cool. But realistically, he's going to play CDM probably. That's what realistically he's going to play. But that isn't going to solve the issues that Manchester United have. They have a lot of issues. And I just don't think that they have the attitude in the squad to compete. And this is really make or break season for Manchester United. I think if they don't push and really get top 4, or even win the Europa League and get Champions League football back, it's going to set him back even further. I think this is Ten Hag's biggest challenge he's going to have in his whole entire career. To build Manchester United back up to the promised land. If he does, then good on him. Props to him. But I just don't think he's going to have the players. I don't think Anthony's going to score you. Anthony Martial's going to score you that many goals. I haven't seen it. Whether or not he's refreshed, but we've seen this story before. We've seen this story with Rashford again. Sancho, he's going to have a big, big season. I think now that he's found his footing after the first season, I think he's going to have a decent season. Bruno Fernandes, does he fit? Is he going to be able to stop the Hollywood passes and actually play proper football? Don't know. We don't know about that. What's going to happen with McFred? Are they going to be the starting midfielders? Is it going to be Maguire playing centre-back constantly? There's so many questions about Manchester United, and that's why I have them at 7th. Chelsea in 6th. Look, Chelsea have lost a lot of players, and they haven't brought anyone in because Barcelona have pinched all their players that they're trying to bring in. That's just the reality of it. So, the biggest issue I have with Chelsea and why I've got them so low is, one, they got a centre-back issue. They only have 2 centre-backs, really. They let a whole heap go, and now they are, suffering because of it. Tomori could have been an absolute fantastic replacement for Rudiger, but nope, you let him go. You're just letting him go everywhere. So they haven't fixed that issue. Yes, they got Koulibaly in, but you're going to play Koulibaly and Thiago Silva for the whole entire season? Just them two? No. You got Sarr there, but is he ready? No. Tuchel doesn't like to play young ones. You got Chabala there as well. Is he going to be able to do it? Don't know. So you got issues there. My other big issue is who's going to score the goals for Chelsea. Werner has proven that he's not going to score you goals. Havertz has not going to score you those goals that you need. They got Sterling in, But is Sterling going to score you the 20 goals you need to be competing for the top 4? I don't think so. I really don't think he does. So this is the problem I have with Chelsea. Who is going to score the goals? No one. Like, that's the issue. Unless Havertz somehow magically comes up and scores 15 goals, Sterling scores 15 goals, and Werner scores 15 goals, then you'll be right. But that's not what's going to happen. We know that. We've seen that story. We've seen Werner not be able to do that. We've seen Havertz. But the question is Sterling going to fit in and just bag 20 goals? Probably not. So that is my big issue. I don't think they score enough goals. And with the defense being very weak compared to last season, I don't know how they're going to stop the goals either. And I haven't been impressed with them in preseason so far. So for me, I think Thomas Tuchel has a huge job, and he could be out of a job come the end of this year. Unless they start bringing players in. So you got like De Jong, if they bring him in, that's a big, big bonus. But you still need those centre-back issues. So for me, that's why I've got them in 6th. West Ham in 5th. I think West Ham are going to have another brilliant season. I think it's Declan Rice's last season before he goes off. He's going to have a big one. And I think he's going to take them back to European football. And I think that's going to throw something in the works where Declan may stay another year. Possibly. But I think they're going to have a big, big year. They got another striker in who I'm intrigued to see, because the Italian strikers from the Italian league just don't seem to work in the Premier League, but I'm excited to see if he does work and what he's about. I think you need that with Antonio because he can get injured. So I think that issue there works for them. But I really like West Ham. And I think that if they can build upon the last 2 seasons and start to really, really push, then it's going to be awesome. I really want to see them do well. I think David Moyes is a great manager, knows what he's doing, and he just needs to be backed. That's what he needs. He needs to be backed. I think they got a very decent squad, decent midfield, decent back line. I'm excited. And if Jared Bowen can still maintain that form from last year and bag 20, like, what did he get? Like, almost 20 goals or something like that. And, like, 10 assists. So, like, if he hits that, and Antonio's in and this new striker hits as well, then I think West Ham are in for a big season. And they could even maybe get the top 4 position. So for me, West Ham in 5th. I got Spurs in 4th. They could finish 3rd. I think 3rd and 4th could go either way. I think Spurs, they have made some good signings. I think Basuma is a world-class signing. That is brilliant signing. But where or not he plays is another issue, because I don't know if they're going to play Højbjerg and Bentancur. But I think Basuma is a fantastic buy. That is really, really good. Richarlison, overrated. Really, really overrated. Don't care for that. What's his name? Is it Perisic that they bought as well from Inter? Brilliant signing. He's going to enhance that left-hand side as well. I think Conte has a brilliant squad here. If you're fully fit Harry Kane, fully fit Son, Kulusevski is back. That front 3 is quality. If Son can hit the form he had last year, if Harry Kane can get back and have a huge season for them, it pains me to say this, but they're going to be hard to stop. They're going to be good. They're going to be really, really good. So, yeah, I'm kind of concerned about where they're going to go, but I still holding out hope that they're going to finish 4th. I think they finish 4th. You got to do it. You got to be biased at some time. So for me, Spurs are going to finish 4th. Arsenal, 3rd. I think we have looked fantastic in preseason. We've looked the best we have in a long, long time in preseason. I think Gabriel Jesus is going to be big for us. He needs to be big for us. He needs to hit that 15 to 20 goals. He gives us an extra dimension going forward. Lacazette was more stagnant. Jesus will go in behind. He will attack the space in behind, which gives us this whole new dynamic. I think Martinelli's going to have a big season. He needs to. Odegaard, I think he's going to be brilliant as well. Saka, William Saliba, I'm super, super excited to see him. Finally, I think he should be starting for us. He is fantastic. Great young centre-back. And he has the chance to be world-class. Like, he looks really, really good. So I'm excited. I have not been this excited as an Arsenal fan for a long, long time. We're spending money. We're bringing in good young players. Now it's time. There is no excuse for Arteta. There is no excuse. None whatsoever. Top 4 Europa League. Those are the two big ones that we need to get. And I think this is the year we do it. I really do. And I hope we do. So for me, Arsenal are going to finish third. Liverpool in second, which means Manchester City are going to win again. Liverpool, I think, are going to push Manchester City all the way again. I think it's going to be neck to neck. These two could go either way for me. It was so hard to pick between these two squads because they are just so miles above everyone else. To me, it all comes down to if Haaland clicks for Manchester City, it's game over. They are going to win the league. They've won it without a striker. You add in a world-class striker, the best young striker in the world in Haaland, and he fires and he starts scoring, he could easily score over 30 goals this season in the Premier League. He really could. That's scary. And they could just absolutely destroy the league. If Grealish is on as well, then it's scary. But on the other hand, Liverpool have lost Mane, yes, but they brought in Darwin Núñez, who doesn't look like he's missed a beat. Like, you watch that game against Manchester City, he looked like he fit. He had the passion. He had everything. That is a scary, scary thought. Liverpool have such a strong front that they will bag goals for fun. Salah, he could easily have a huge season and score 30 goals. Like, it's so hard to pick between these two teams, but I just think if Haaland goes berserk for City, City win the league. If he doesn't, Liverpool win the league. So right now, I got Liverpool in second and City in first. That is who I think is going to win it. So there you have it. That is my predictions. So we'll run through it again. So I've got Fulham 20th, Bournemouth 19th, Leeds in 18th. Then I've got Brentford, Leicester City, Everton, Southampton, Forest, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Brighton, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Chelsea, West Ham, Spurs, Arsenal, could go either way, that one. And then we got Liverpool and City. But I am super excited for this season. I think it's going to be one of the best seasons. I think it's going to be super competitive. The top four race, I think third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh is going to be very, very tight. That's going to be very, very tight. First and second, I still think it's those two. I think they're miles above everyone else. And I think it's going to go to the end of the freaking line again, like last year. And I'm excited for it. I'm super, super excited for it. So let me know in the comments below what do you guys think of my predictions. What are yours? Smash it down below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. See you guys next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.